Who is this Mickey Truth girl? Who qualifies her to put a work on these people?
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, aka the Queen of Paperwork, and I am back with another video. As always, all information contained in this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. All information used in this video is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusion that you draw is on you, not me. So let's get it.
All right, Truth Team. So I was scrolling through Instagram, and this post came up on No Jumper. Shout out to No Jumper. And the post said, old Crime Stoppers report surfaces of Florida police looking for underground rapper Little Boom for allegedly touching the backside of multiple people, including children. All right. And it says an old Facebook post, surface of Ocala, and I probably said that wrong, police department looking for underground rapper Little Boom for allegedly touching the backside of multiple people, including minors. Scared with emojis, okay? Now, I'm like, well, who is Little Boom? You know, at first, right? Then if you look under the post, it says, from allegedly a verified account called Little Boom. This is so cat wiggle. If this was true, I'll be on the effing registry, okay? The next one says, I fell off already, bub. You should have tried to cap on me in like 2018, all right? So let's go to the next picture. And on this post, allegedly from Facebook, it is indeed a Crime Stoppers police department post. Now, first and foremost, a disclaimer, okay? I have been honest, and I say, hey, when it comes to crimes against kids, I am not one of the ones who's going to make excuses for people. I'm going to say protect our kids at all costs. However, when we're talking about cases, we're going to stick to the facts of the matter. We're going to go over the paperwork for this case if indeed it's a case, okay? Because we got to have an open mind. So I found the actual Facebook post, though. I verified it, on my own, if the Facebook post was actually for real. And it says, update, and this was September 20th, 2021. Thanks to our Facebook followers, this person was identified. His name is Shannon Jawan Adams, 23 years old. He goes by Little Boom, okay? And it looks like to me, this is a Walmart picture, okay? Multiple shots of it. It looked like he just woke up. I'm gonna tell you that much. He has a phone in his hands and look like AirPods in his ear. Now, again, a lot of people won't want to talk about this, okay? For multiple reasons, everybody is not prepared to have this conversation. They will prefer to have the conversation or the debate about who is snitching. Now, I feel this is very important to speak about because at the end of the day, we have to protect our kids. We have to protect our children. We have to bring awareness that, hey, although things happen, but we're going to do our part to verify situations as the public anyway, so that we can hold those accountable. Now, again, if this person, Shannon Adams, aka Little Boom, wouldn't have commented under the post and said, hey, Cap, I probably wouldn't have touched it, to be honest, because I didn't know who the Little Boom person was. And also, it was an old post, right? Now, I would later find out, and again, y'all already know how it works in the media. When it's a bigger name attached to you, they always, unfortunately, okay, they always bring it back up, okay? Or bring that person into the fold. That's just media, okay? So I was shocked to find out that this is actually a person that works with, okay, DJ Akademiks. Now, again, Akademiks has nothing to do with this situation, right? To my understanding. However, a lot of people may not know the significance or why this person was even posted, okay? So with that, we're not going to go into attaching Akademiks to this, but just for context of who Little Boom is, a Florida rapper, Also a personality that works for DJ Akademiks on his podcast and streaming services. Okay. So there we are. Okay, we done address the elephant in the room. So for those who are listening to me, you can actually see the visual of this on my YouTube channel, Mickey Truth. But I'm going to walk you through what I am seeing when I go look at the case itself, okay? So, of course, public records, especially in Florida, is about as simple as it gets, okay? So, it actually brings up, if you go under Ocala, and I'm, again, probably not pronouncing that right, Ocala, okay? Florida, court record search, okay? You will bring up a case that was found on September 24th, 2021, okay? It is a misdemeanor 34-D as far as the case type, and status says active process. Now, we're going to get into the ins and outs of it, but if we go over and just to click on that case, okay? Again, it says active process as the status. Okay, I'm not familiar with active process, but we're going to see if we can figure it out. Under here, it says count 1 description is battery. Count 2 description is battery, okay? And again, if you just press the little play button next to the charge, it will say no trial was done, okay? The offense occurred on September 19, 2021, okay? The initial filing was on September 23rd, 2021. The prosecutor decided to move forward with charges on November 12, 2021. And on March 18, 2022, the adjudication withheld, okay? Now, what's important, okay, I want to say, anytime you have a charge, no matter if it's, shoplift, it can be anything, okay? They always will have the actual charge number, right? So in this case, it's 784.03.181. Okay, that's the statute for it. Now, one thing about it, I don't know if y'all are like me, but I need to make sure I understand what the charge is first and foremost, right? So a simple Google search of it, okay, will bring you to it. And just make sure you put in Florida, okay? So I typed it in and I put in Florida. You can put Florida statute, or you can just put Florida, okay? Now, if you go under the first one that pops up for me anyway, it says Florida Senate, right? And it's a .gov, so I'm going to go with that one. So once it loads here, it will outline exactly what this charge is, okay? So again, 784.03, it says battery, and it also says felony battery, okay? 1A, the part that says 1A means the offense of battery occurs when a person. Now, you have to be very careful, okay? Because 784, so the first part of the number is the chapter, okay? The next number that's past the period will be the section, okay? So now we have to go to the actual point that we need, right? Which is 1, because remember, it's 784 that point, 03 period 1A period 1. Okay, so that means actually and intentionally touches or strikes another person against the will of the other. Okay, so that is what the 2 charges are for. Battery, which means the offense of battery occurs when a person actually and intentionally touches or strikes another person against the will of the other. Point blank period. It's no guessing. That is what the statute in Florida states, that's what was being charged. Okay, so if we go back to the case, okay, and continue on, it'll tell us here. So it does show us he has violated his probation. So already we know, because that's the first thing that popped up, that some probation was provided on this case. Okay, now, let me go back up here to the second one just to make sure y'all see. So both of them are the same thing. Okay, 784.03.1A1. All right. So what we would do is just go all the way back down, as far down as we can go. Okay. Because what we're looking for is the affidavit. Okay. And that is the arresting report normally. Well, especially in Florida at least, right? And as you can see, it is document number 2, right? And it's 5 pages long. And if we just click on that document, okay, it will load for us to take a view on what it says, right? So let it load up here. All right. So as you guys can see, the name, date, case number, arresting location, all that, right, is showing. And it says 2 counts of battery. The bond was $2,000, okay? And pretty much it gives the, the information for the officer when they were booked. So again, booked into jail on September 23rd, 2021. Now, this is the probable cause affidavit. So this is what information they provided to the courts to say, hey, we need permission to arrest this person. All right. And it says, on September 19, 2021, at approximately 16:59 hours, I responded to Walmart located at 2600 Southwest 19th Avenue Road in reference to a battery. Upon arrival, I made contact with Luis Hernandez, who advised his daughters were inappropriately touched. I made contact with the daughters, and I'm not going to speak their names, but one is 10 years old and the other one is 17 years old, who advised they were in the produce section with the rest of their family nearby, okay? The 2 victims advised that the male approached her and touched her butt with a grabbing motion. The male then continued to the second victim where he then touched her butt with a grabbing motion and continued to walk away. So let's just talk about that. So a grabbing motion is not, because, one could say, hey, I just, bumped into him, didn't mean to, whatnot. But a grabbing motion means your hand was going towards, okay, like to grab it. That's the grabbing motion. Well, that's the best way I can describe it. But y'all let me know what y'all think if otherwise, okay? It then goes to say here that I then made contact with witness. So another witness was around, okay, who advised he was shopping in the produce section. The witness advised that while shopping, he observed a male touch a young female, later identified as the victim, in the butt. The witness explained that the victim looked up at the male, made contact with the male before the male finally walked off. Okay. The suspect was described as a tall black male, 20 to 30 years old, with a afro-style hair, wearing a long-sleeve blue shirt, red pajama pants with an afro-style hair, and blue medical mask. Now, on the Facebook photos, from what I can't see a medical mask, but the description of the clothing and also of the hairstyle does match the pictures that, again, the police put out and put that this person goes by the name of Little Boom, okay? Now, it further goes to say that contact was made with loss prevention, okay, who allowed the police to view the surveillance camera. At 14:39 hours, I observed a red sedan, possibly a red Chevy Impala, possibly 2012 body style with black rims, entering the parking lot and park. I then observed a black male matching a previous description exit the vehicle and then enter the general merchandise entrance and proceed time. I then observed at approximately 16:40 hours, a male in the produce section walking around. At this time, the 2 victims were standing at a produce display selecting items. The male then approached the minor from the rear, touches her butt area, which is when the victim jumps away from the man. The victims, they walk towards their mother. And it says the male proceeds close to them. The male then turns around, walks away from victim, and proceeds to touch her butt area as well. So as of now, they are witnessing both victims get touched. The male then walks away, walks through the grocery store area, and eventually goes back to the produce department. At approximately 1646 hours, I observed the male approach an unknown black female wearing brown shirt and pants from. It appears that the male attempts to touch the female in the butt area, but the female does not react. The female then walks a few steps and the male attempts to touch her again, which is when the female turns around and stares at the male. It should be noticed that I have not been able to contact this victim, nor has the Ocala Police Department received any additional reports. So if we go now to the next page, which is on here is page 3, it continues to say, again, the probable cause. Now, at this point, it says here, the male then walked away and continues throughout the grocery store, eventually walking to cosmetics department at approximately 1653. In this area, there is a Hispanic female, possibly younger, wearing a white t-shirt, jeans, brown sandals, and long dark brown hair. The female is standing looking at something on display, and the male walks behind her and brushes up very close from behind. The male walks back to her several times without the female noticing. The female, okay, the brushes up very close behind her. Hold on, let me kind of got, okay, here we go. The female, he got so many errors on here, okay? Then bends down to look at something possibly on the shelf, and the male pulls out his cell phone and appears to be taking photographs from underneath the female as she is crouched down. The male does this for several moments until another female, an older Hispanic female wearing a gray shirt, knee-length jean skirt, and black sandals, approaches the younger female and moves the cart to behind the female, preventing the male from taking more photographs. It should be noted that the female was wearing jeans, therefore does not meet the requirements of video voyeurism. Shoo. I was unable to make contact with either female. The male then continues to stand to female with his cell phone out several minutes before leaving the scene at approximately 17:01 hours in a red vehicle. I was able to take a clear photograph of the suspect and send it to the public information officer to have the photograph placed on social media in an attempt to identify it. On September 22nd, 2021, I made contact, okay, with a person by the name of Katrina. In reference to this case, Katrina advised she recognized the suspect from the Facebook post to be a subject she met at a party in 2018. She advised she knew the subject's Instagram and Twitter username to be Little Boom, but when she attempted to search, the accounts were deactivated. I went to Facebook and searched Little Boom and located a black male subject that I recognized to be the subject from the incident. I also made contact again with the suspect, was an associate, but refused to provide additional information over the phone. This person then said they would meet on September 23rd, 2021. Now, they eventually go to say they were able to not only talk to people that knew Little Boom, but also that a vehicle search pulled up to be connected with Little Boom. All right. Now, let me see. It continues to say they made contact with the subject who identified himself as Shannon. When I asked Shannon about the incident, he advised he was just shopping around and declined touching anyone. Shannon further advised that he was at Walmart on Sunday, September 19, 2019. Due to the fact that I was able to positively identify the suspect as being Shannon Adams and Shannon admitting to being at the Walmart on the day of the incident, I believe this is probable cause for 2 counts of battery, okay? And it was signed and delivered, all right? So if we go back, so right now, what we know for a fact is that Shannon Adams, according to this document, aka Little Boom, was accused of touching 2 victims that they were able to identify. All those other people, according to the video surveillance, that he attempted to do this to, but 2 victims that came forward, one being 10 years old and one being 17. Okay, so the 2 counts of battery is from those 2 victims, as you can see for those who are watching it, for the bench warrant. Okay, and we're going to get into the bench warrant in a little while. All right, so again, what did I say battery meant for that particular statute? It means, again, the offense of battery occurs when a person actually and intentionally touches or strikes another person against the will of the other. All right, so I mean, y'all let me know what y'all think. What I can tell you is that Shannon Adams, aka Little Boom, did plead guilty to both counts of battery. And according to the judgment and sentence, okay, it is misdemeanors 1st degree. All right. And again, the plea was no low contender. Okay. And for those, because I'm going to have a hard time explaining that one. So let me just look it up so I can give y'all the actual meaning of it. Okay. So here we go. So what he actually pled to was a plea by which a defendant in a criminal prosecution accepts conviction as though a guilty plea had been entered, but does not admit guilt. So I will want to clarify that Little Boom does not admit to doing anything. However, he is, by the law anyway, to be guilty. But by entering this deal, he does not admit to any guilt. Okay, I just want to be fair and make sure I put that out there. Okay, so let's go back to, again, the plea. Now, according to this is what the sentence was. For count 1, 40 community service hours, max confinement, county jail for 4 days, credit time served for 4 days, probation reporting for 12 months. Count 2, max confinement, county jail for 4 days, credit time served for 4 days, probation reporting for 12 months. All right. And it continues to say defendant may purchase community service hours at the rate of $10 per hour. So he didn't have to do the community service. He could have just paid for it. All right. Probation on count 2 is consecutive to probation on count 1. So he only had 12 months of not community service, probation. Okay. Also, he needed to report probation within 24 hours of this plea. Cannot have contacts with any minors under the age of 18 on both counts. Defendant is ordered to successfully complete hours of community service with the Marion County Solid Waste Department as arranged by the Misdemeanor Probation Office operated by the Salvation Army Correctional Services in Marion County. Defendant is ordered to appear in person at the Misdemeanor Probation Office in Ocala to make arrangements for doing these community service hours. Court allows the defendant to do remote reporting probation, and the defendant must report to the Salvation Army in Marion County to set up said transfer for both counts. Also, complete conditions within 11 months, both counts. Defendant is to undergo a psychosexual evaluation and is to complete all recommended treatment concurrent for both counts, sign up within 30 days and complete successfully on first attempt. Defendant is to undergo a mental health evaluation within 30 days. Defendant is to comply with all recommended treatment and counseling, both counts. Cannot have contact with the victims. So again, no, this charge does not go to being listed on the sexual registry. However, both charges are of battery to a minor. Now, some people may have the argument, I guess I would say, to say, hey, well, if you're not on the registry, then how can that be held against you? Well, it's really to each his own. But if we just stick to the law, then by law, Little Boom, aka Shannon Adams, was convicted of 2 battery charges, which he pled no contest basically to. However, he was convicted of. And it by law, by statute, says that means he intentionally touched the victim. And the victims in this case, as it says in the paperwork, was 10 years old and 17 years old. So that is that. So in a nutshell, is Little Boom on the sexual registry? No, he's not. However, if a person, a male or a female, grabs the ass of a 10-year-old on video, I'm going to be honest, in my opinion, that was definitely predator vibes. Because why are you grabbing the ass of a 10-year-old anyway? Now, let me know what y'all think, Truth Team. Because again, this won't probably get no action because of the nature of it. You know, more people are going to want to know, well, as long as he didn't snitch, okay? But this your girl, Mickey Truth. Speaking my voice of truth, of course.
Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to pull up on your girl, Mickey Truth. And as always, donations are welcome to support the channel. Hit the Cash App, Mickey Truth 2022. Holla!
Shout out Mickey. Mickey, you gonna be big. Like,
yeah,
I'm trying to conquer the world, coming from where I come.